First off, let me turn this light down, actually. This light is a little bit high normally than what I usually have it. Okay. I am late. I just got off. I've been working from like 9 to 10. Okay. All day long. But I'm still here because I told you guys I was going to be here. And I don't like to lie to you guys. I don't like to lie. I don't like to be off. Dylan, like always, first one in the room. We hit 200. Yeah, we did. We hit 200. We hit 200 subscribers. I knew we were going to do it. I knew it was going to get done. We hit 200 subscribers. It was much quicker, like I've been saying for the longest time. It was much easier for us to get from 100 to 200. And then now it's going to be easier for us to get from 200 to 300, then 400, then 1,000. We're starting to get steady growth. As at first, it was kind of like, we were making videos, but the same people were watching. New people weren't really watching. New people weren't really checking us out. But now we have more new people coming in. It's like new people each time, each video. I have new viewers and that's new subscribers. So if that trend continues, which I'm going to stay consistent with posting the videos. So if that trend continues, then we'll be good. We'll be on our way to, because it's 1,000 by the end of the year. So we have some months left. We got a little less than half a year left, but we can still do that. We can still do that if we keep the consistency. Now, I told you guys last video that I was in a debate, and the debate was about like black men oppressing black women, black men having male privilege. What that means is because there's like this concept of intersectionality where two identities intersect with each other, which means you might be, one part of your identity might be one thing, but then you have another identity that might be another thing. So you kind of can interchange into each category. Like, let's say, for instance, I'm black, clearly. I'm also a male. I'm black. I'm also American. I'm black. I'm also, you know what I'm saying? I'm black, or somebody. Those are the most popular ones. You're black, and then your sex or your sexual orientation. Those are the ones that people refer to the most when they refer to intersectionality. So and I'm not gonna diss them. This isn't to diss any young sister who believes that. This is to educate them. This is to educate them and to educate anybody who does believe that straight black men in America have male privilege and can oppress black women. This is to debunk that narrative. This isn't to diss. I'm not even going to say the sister's name. This isn't to diss them. Hopefully she will see this. It was actually multiple. But hopefully they will see this and they will get informed. But I'm rolling my sleeves up. But there's some things that the narrative came. I first started hearing about this when this article came out from the groups. This article came out that says straight black men are the white people of black people. And a lot of people had an issue with this. A lot of people had an issue with this because that implies that when we say the white people of black people are of the oppressor class. The dominant society is the oppressor class of black people. So for you to say that straight black men are the white people of black people, that's you saying that straight black men are the villains of black people. So I'm not going to show the whole thing. We're just going to keep this up here. But I have the article pulled up on my thing, and I'm going to read the article to you guys. It's not that long. But I'm going to read it to you guys. Now, the article goes, it feels counterintuitive to suggest that straight black men as a whole possess any sort of privilege, particularly the type of privilege created for protected by white people. In America, we are near or at the bottom of every relevant metric determining quality of life. Let me make this bigger for myself because I can't really see it. Determining quality of life. Where was I? Our arrest and incarceration rates, our likelihood of dying a violent death, our likelihood of graduating high school and attending college, our employment rates, our average net worth, our likelihood of surviving past 70. I can continue, he says. But the point is clear. By assessing, now it continues, but assessing our privilege or lack thereof on the facts considers only our relationship with whiteness and with America. Interracial, however, our relationship to and with black women is not unlike whiteness's relationship to us. In fact, it is eerily similar. Now, if you guys want to read this, I do have the link for the article in the description. So if you guys want to go back and read this, I do have the link in the description, so you guys can check that out. It goes on to say, we're the ones from whom the first black president created the entire initiative to assist and uplift. Now, I'm going to kind of debunk this as I'm reading it. Now, when he says, he gave a whole list of the things that affect black men specifically at a higher rate than it affects everybody else. And what he gave are not small things. What he gave are literally life and death metrics of quality of life, life and death metrics. And by pretty much all and every life and death metric, black people, black men, straight black men have it the worst. I just want you to keep in mind that he acknowledged that in the beginning of this article. Now, I'm going to keep that. I want to keep reminding you of that after he gets all the stuff that black men have against us, he goes on this crusade to talk about how much better black men have it than black women, without bringing up any metric, without bringing up anything measurable. I want you to pay attention to that. I'm going to continue. We're the ones from whom the first black president created an entire initiative to assist and uplift. When he says we're, he didn't mean just black men, straight black men. He did not mean. That's not what Obama didn't uplift any straight black men, not collectively. He didn't uplift straight black men collectively. I don't know where he got that from. This article was made in 2017. So you know. We're the ones whose beatings and deaths at the hands of the police galvanize the community in a way that the beatings and sexual assault and deaths of those same police inflict upon black women do not. In the debate that I had, that was a topic that was brought up. Well, when black men get beat up by the police, then there's protest, then there's uproar, then the community is galvanized to seek justice for the black men, right? But they don't do that for black women. For black women, when black women get beat up by the police, which does happen, when black women get harassed or sexually harassed by the police, the community isn't as motivated to seek justice on behalf of black women as they are on behalf of black men. Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing. In the beginning of the article, I want you to see how tricky, because when I read this and debunk it, you'll be able to see how tricky these types of articles are. In the beginning of the article, he already stated that black men are harassed by the police and are physically handled by the police. Black men's interactions with the police are worse than black women's on average. If you look at the rate that police deal, like police have violent altercations, police kill black men, and you look at the rate that police kill black women, not saying that they don't kill black women, but they do not kill women as much as black men. It's not even comparable. Plus the ones that people are protesting about, like George Floyd and Eric Gardner, all of those, pretty much every single last one of those were on video. It's a different thing. Do you know how many black people were killed by the police? There's a lot of black people who are killed by the police, and the media doesn't say anything about it, because the only time the media really says anything about it is when it's already in the ethers, already kind of trending on social media. Then the mainstream media talks about it. But police kill black people, not just shoot black people. They strangle black people just like they did George Floyd. They'll break black people's neck just like they did Freddie Gray. They kill black people, and the media doesn't report on it until it's kind of like a uproar and the community knows. A lot of the times the community doesn't know, though. So there's a lot of black men who get killed by the police, and there isn't a protest and there isn't an uproar. So I don't like this narrative that, oh, the community is ready to stand up for black men, but they're not ready to stand up for black women, when that's completely not the case. Because when Sandra Bland, who did not die on camera, when Sandra Bland, she was arrested on camera, she didn't die. When she died, there were protests nationwide, not just in the city where she died in. There were nationwide protests. Okay. When Breonna Taylor died, when she was killed, there were protests. There was specific protests for her specifically, even though a lot of the protests last year, it was kind of like a George Floyd / Breonna Taylor protest combination. Even though George Floyd was kind of like the center of it, because his murder was actually caught on video. Breonna Taylor's murder wasn't caught on video. For the longest time, they were saying there was absolutely no body cam footage of Breonna Taylor's killing. I still think that most likely somebody had their body cam on and is hidden or deleted. That's my theory about it. I don't have any evidence to prove that. That's just my personal theory. But there was no video evidence of Breonna Taylor's death. There was video evidence of George Floyd's death. So that's why his death kind of like stunk. I mean, and Breonna Taylor not saying anything about their sister's death, but being shot and then being strangled on camera, that's, one stings a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like people didn't care because she's a black woman and we just don't care about black women. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Now, I'm going to continue reading. It goes on to say, we're the ones who mistreat, inspired the boycott of the NFL, despite the NFL's long history of mishandling and outright ignoring far worse crimes against black women. Notice with these intersectional black men have male privilege people, notice how vague they are. When he talks about the mistreatment that the NFL does to black women, he doesn't bring up any details, any specific incidents. The reason why black people boycotted the NFL is because when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, they were like, okay, you're going to have to stop taking a knee. He took it specifically because there was like back-to-back police killings on camera and nobody was saying anything. The police were getting let go. So he took a knee during the anthem. Everybody knows that. And then the NFL was all like, okay, well, you're going to have to get out of here. And because he got fired, that's when black people were like, okay, we're going to boycott the NFL then. It's not like, I don't like the narrative that the black community only cares about the black men. We're going to get into that a little bit further in the video, but that's not the case at all. It goes on to say, We are the ones who get the biggest seat at the table and the biggest piece of chicken at the table, despite making the smallest contributions to the meal. Excuse me? Okay. In most married households, the males are the breadwinners. The males contribute more to the house than the females. As financially speaking, the males contribute more financially than the females do. So I don't understand what this, you get the biggest seat, you get the biggest piece of chicken. Men can eat more than women. Men are naturally larger than women. So men tend to eat more than women just in general. And okay, the biggest seat men are larger than like this. To say that straight black men have a privilege because we're getting the biggest piece of chicken at the table is ridiculous. And then to say we make the smallest contributions to the meal, and most of the cases where the male and female are married in the house, the male is contributing more financially. That's just what statistics say is the average household. So that's just, you see how ridiculous these points are. These points are utterly ridiculous. It goes on to say, now whereas this more evident than when considering the collective danger we pose to black women and our collective lack of willingness to accept and make amends for that truth. It's a damning and depressing paradox when speaking about race and racism. We want our concerns and our worries and our fears to be acknowledged. We want white people to at least make an effort to understand the reality, that our reality is different from theirs, and that white supremacy is a vital part of Americans' foundation. We grow frustrated when they refuse to acknowledge their role historically and presently in perpetuating it. Here's the thing. No, we don't. Honestly, we really don't. Most black people who are on code are past the whole, I want white people to understand that racism hurts me. We're past that whole, don't you understand my feelings?